Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
It's an unhappy Devils Friday. This is Devils After Dark. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. And Scotty's Michael J. Fox Studios from Beverly Hills, California. Streaming live and Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Devils blow a 2-0 lead tonight to lose 5-2 to the Buffalo Sabres. Tage Thompson with the natural hat trick. Total disappointment all around, Scotty. I'm depressed. I'm assuming you're depressed. The fans are depressed, Devils fans. And I got a lot to say, but, man, Scotty.
Yep. Line up the gummies, because we're going to need them tonight, that's for sure, after that pitiful performance, which, you know what, is it really that surprising, though, with this team? No, because they've played up to their opponents and down to their opponents all season long. And every time we've been like, it's going to be a trap, it's been a trap. So, am I honestly shocked? No, not really. I'm really not that shocked. Other than Jake the Snake Allen, Devils didn't deserve to win this game. They didn't deserve to win this game. After the first, I'd say, like 10, 12 minutes of the game, they just kind of stopped playing. And Buffalo took it to them for the rest of the game. And it was Jake Allen standing on his head multiple times, which kept this game even close going into the third period. That's really all it was. It's all it was. But we're going to talk about it here. So go ahead, let loose on the old YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Happy weekend. Oh, yay. The Devils did themselves in again. Yep. It's bad when you're taking yourself out behind the barn. You know, that's not a good look, Sam Woo. That is not a good look over here.
No, it's not. You know what? I almost want to end my misery and just stop watching games at this point.
This one was a hard one to stay into because you could just totally see the Sabres taking over this game. Number 73 on the season, Jake the Snake in net. And I wrote it down right here. Be ready at the start of the game. Okay, maybe they were. But then I should have put a little asterisk and continue through the full 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't play down. That was the next line I wrote over here in my little intro part that I have. And the Devils did start out good. They got 2 goals. One from the fourth line. One from the top line of Jesper Bratt. And the first one, Willman, hey, he's been doing good in his short little opportunities that he's had here. Curtis Lazar as well. Seems to be finding himself on the score sheet quite often. He got an assist here, and basically, it was 3 minutes into the game. The Devils got on the board, 1-0. It was a long range. Lazar gets the puck. He shoots it back. Or was it Tierney? I'm sorry. I think it was Tierney. Brings the puck back to Luke Hughes, who puts, nothing dangerous, just getting a shot towards net and getting it through. Willman happens to be there. He deflects it, and then it hit off his deflection then hit one of the Buffalo Sabres defenders. I can't remember who it was. Was it Lead? It might have been. And then it changes direction again and goes through the 5-hole of Levi. Okay, we'll take it. Lucky bounce, but whatever. And then about halfway through the period, you get really good work from Nico Hischier and Timo Meier deep in the zone, behind the goal, winning puck battles along the boards, and Nico is able to feed the puck out front to Jesper Bratt, who takes it as if he's going up the ice the other way. He kind of spins and shoots, and I mean, he put a nasty shot high, near side, just in past the corner of the goal there, the corner of the post. And you're like, okay, boys, 2-0. Here we go. Bury this team now. Get a third one, get a fourth one here in the first period, and put it to bed. They didn't do that. They let the Sabres hang around. How did they do that? By not converting on a 5-on-3 power play. Now, granted, the 5-on-3 was only for 27 seconds, but still, you got a 5-on-3 and you got this power play that should be one of the most potent ones in the league. They didn't do anything on either power play. The first 5-on-4, the part that was 5-on-3, and then the rest of the 5-on-4. Jack all. And then right at the end of the first period, it was Jake Allen that really kept the Sabres off the board. He had a sequence with like 2 or 3 saves right in a row where he was kind of flat on his stomach, and he had one that I thought was going in, and boom, he stuck that glove up and stopped it. Jake Allen has been phenomenal. Phenomenal. And he deserved to get a win tonight. But the team let him down. I'll say that. If there's anyone who really played their heart out tonight, it was Jake Allen. And how did the Sabres get on the board in the second period? Well, 2 of Thompson's 4 goals on the night. Oh, yes, because he got an empty netter there at the end. He began the natural hat trick. How? With a Devils giveaway. And though Timo Meier has been playing very well lately, he made a bad decision at the Devils' blue line. Pass coming up the boards. He's just going to try and shovel it in the middle to Jesper Bratt. Except he didn't get a lot of barbecue sauce on that shovel. And it's just kind of sitting out there in no man's land at the blue line. And Tage Thompson scoops it up and goes right in and lets a wrister go that Jake Allen got a piece of. It went off the top of his glove and just bloop, 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 right over and into the net. Jesper Bratt had a breakaway after that. Didn't bury it. And then look at my next note. Buffalo out hustling Devils. That was the story the rest of the game. Jack Hughes got a break. A partial break from an outlet pass. He drew a slashing call. Guess what the Devils did on their power play? Absolutely nothing. And then another bad turnover ties it up. Kevin Ball tries to play the backhand around the Devils' goaltender there, around the Devils' net. The blind pass backhand where you're not sure if someone is there or not. And guess what? John Marino was not near where Kevin Ball was putting the puck. Guess who was? Tage Thompson. Yeah. Puts it home. Far side. Got a little bit of iron on that shot as well. Ding. 2 terrible turnovers in the Devils' defensive zone to probably the one guy you don't want to give it to there on the Buffalo Sabres, Tage Thompson. And he buries both of them. 2-2 going into the third, and the third period was absolutely dominated by the Buffalo Sabres. Again, thank you, Jake Allen, because this game probably could have been 6-2, but all no 2 empty netters there at the end. But Jake Allen stood on his head until Tage Thompson gets the natty hattie. It's a far-range shot from the point, and Tage is in front, and he tips the puck down, And Jake Allen gets the first one, but then the rebound is sitting right there, and he's able to put the backhand past him. There you go, and that's you knew it. I mean, you could see the writing on the wall because the Devils were getting dominated. The Sabres were just pinning them in the zone. And that's all she wrote. Coach Green tried to pull Jake Allen late. Devils cough up the puck. Boom, empty net goal. Pulls him again. Tage Thompson gets his fourth. What was a 2-0 lead, the Devils actually scoring first, and a team that we know is just kind of meandering there, out of playoff contention, what we basically are now with this loss. We couldn't even get it to friggin' overtime. And we've talked about that, like all those OT points that the Devils have been missing. Man, they couldn't get the one in there just to get it to OT, to maybe at least get a point out of this situation. They got outplayed. They got out-hustled. And thank you, Jake the Snake, for keeping this team in it for as long as you did. But it was a bad performance. Again, Sam Woo, this is just like the Ottawa game. This is just like the Arizona game. This is a team they should beat. And this is a team, again, in the crunch situation where they need the W. How is this the same team that beat Toronto the other day? I don't get it. This team is very Jekyll and Hyde. They really don't have a true identity. And this is what we've been saying all season long. So it's like I was almost expecting this to happen. To be quite honest. It's like, here's another team that the Devils should beat. They'll probably lose.
Of course.
And it sucks because we were on such a high after that Toronto game. And we were dumb and dumbering it. So you're telling me there's a chance with Philadelphia in a bit of a tailspin, with Detroit not wanting to go for it, Washington may jump ahead of both of them into that third place position. Who's going to take that last, wild card spot? The Devils had an opportunity here to get a little bit closer, and they blew it. And why? Why? Why have they lost so many games to these teams that they should beat? Teams like Anaheim. Oh, how did you lose to Anaheim? It's all coming back to haunt them now. And it's tough for us Devils fans. JP says Green said disappointed. Yeah. Jekyll and Hyde, Sebastian Bach style, Ariel Fernandez. He was pretty good in that role. That's the singer from Skid Row. Sam Woo doesn't know nothing.
Okay, Sebastian.
18 in life, you got it. 18 in life, you know.
This isn't a youth gone wild, youth gone lazy.
No. We are not the youth gone wild now. We used to be.
Yeah.
Last year we were the youth gone wild. This year we're the youth gone youth. The youth go mild. That's what we've been. We are the youth gone mild. All right, I got a smile out of Sam Woo. Yeah. I didn't know if that was going to happen tonight.
I remember last season.
I remember last season. That's another Skid Row song. And by the way, I'll make Sam happy. Roger Allen Wade says hi, Sam.
Oh.
He loves
Roger
watching you.
Oh, okay. Well, tell Roger that one day I'll meet him in Tennessee.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. One day.
The two youths. That's right, Beachmaster. John Bon Jovi wrote 18 in life. I didn't know that, Stephen Engel.
Scotty, I got to get a lot off my chest right now.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Give it to me, baby.
I was wrong about Lindy Ruff to an extent because what has happened here is this team has lack of leadership, lack of what's that word? I'm trying to think of that word. No
Ronnie Cheap Steel night. Okay.
initiative.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Identity?
The whole organization itself has no identity. All right, and I've said this before in the past.
Who are you? Who?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what you're
much.
saying?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say first off, fire the entire coaching staff by the end of the season. No, I'm dead serious. You gotta overhaul right now before it's too late. Before it's too late. Number one, I'm gonna be on record and saying this right now, and I'm probably gonna regret it later. I'm sick of the Hughes brothers. I'm sick of the Hughes brothers. Trade either one of them. Trade one of them right now because all Jack does is pass to his brother. He's become a one-dimensional passer right now. It is to Luke. All right. I was kidding about that. But
I love how you're going George Costanza here. All I want is my 75 cents, my Twix bar, and for him to be fired.
the only player that I really liked tonight was maybe DeSimone, for the most part, and Willman.
Yeah. I think the only player I liked tonight was Jake the Snake Allen.
Well,
That's about it.
aside from the goalie. See, you know what? Like everyone all season, and I'm not saying everyone, the people that have been saying this all season, I should say, it's like we need a goaltender. We need a goal. It's not the goaltending. This game proved it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I mean, Ottawa. I mean, Jake could have played a little bit better, but still, sometimes you got to bail your own goalie out. Can't just be the goalie bailing you out all the time.
Right.
Kevin Ball, so inconsistent. 1 minute, he's pretty good. The next minute, boneheaded plays.
Oh, I saw that coming a mile away. I was like, he's going to backhand it right here to nobody. And boop,
Yeah.
there it is.
Do you know what that tells me? He's timid. You know, it's like you're just passing the buck to somebody else because I don't know what pressure he was feeling when he did that. There was no reason to do that. The other thing too is this team offensively, they get too cute with the puck. They overpass. They overthink it. They don't. They are so like they rather outsmart you. They don't grind it out. Like in the last 2 minutes there when they pulled the goalie. Did you know Timo Meier was not out on the ice? I don't believe he was out on the ice. Why
Really?
is no? He wasn't out on the ice on that first empty netter. You know that whole. He wasn't. And
To be quite honest with you, I was answering some emails at that point because I had
Yeah.
already given up on the game. So, yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, where the hell is Timo Meier? And then when Timo Meier was on the ice for the second time around, after they scored, why is he playing the point? He should be up front, causing havoc. Why is Timo Meier playing the point when it's a 6-on-5? So Travis Green, you're fired in my book. I don't want to even talk about you anymore. Just play out your contract. Ryan McGill, you didn't fix this defense. You're going to be gone too. The goalie coach, I'll hold off for the next few games.
Is it the goalie coach or is it Jake
I don't
Allen?
think it's the. You know what? I don't know.
And Capo Cockett. They both the goalies have been playing well.
Yeah, so I'm not going to blame the
well.
goalie. I'm not going to blame the goalie coach right now. He may have saved his job for at least 2 months.
Ariel, that might be the next nickname. Pink Slip Sam.
Oh no, no.
Sammy Pink Slips. That's his mafia names. It's Sammy Pink Slips.
Of course. All right. So I've already fired your coaching staff. Tom Fitzgerald, you're on the hot seat right now. You're on the here's the thing. I'm talking all this smack, but they just extended his contract.
Oh, I know. That don't mean anything in sports.
Yeah.
They extended Lindy, too.
Yeah, but, Joshua Harris has spent, a lot of money recently, and, right now he can't afford, 5 fire contracts on the books while he's got to, put more money into the commander. Of course he doesn't.
Blitzer's the one who actually cares about the team.
I don't think Blitzer doesn't care about the team. I think he wants to make money off the team, but I don't think he cares about the team.
Harris is all about the Deadskins. That's all he cares about.
Yeah.
Commanders. Sorry.
Yeah.
They'll always be the Deadskins in my book. So as a Giants fan, what can I say? And Ted, don't be giving up on the Mets just yet. I gotta have something. I gotta have something for the summer.
I knew this day was going to go bad. The Mets lose, right? The Mets lose, and then my NCAA bracket is just now completely busted right now because
you didn't pick UConn. Come on.
No, I picked UConn, but
well then you're not busted yet.
Yeah, but I picked Gonzaga over who do they play? I don't know. Who cares at this point? But, again, this team is a bunch of softies. Nobody takes the initiative. Why would you have Palat out there on the 6-on-5? Like, what the hell has Palat done all year? And I like Palat, but the situation does not warrant Palat out there when you're down 3-2. You need to put Timo Meyer out there. Unless I didn't see Timo on the script, but Timo wasn't out there, I don't believe, because I was looking for him. Unless he was invisible like he was tonight. I don't know.
I mean, they all look good in the first 12 minutes of the game, and then they're like, oh, we got this in the bank. No, you don't, fellas. They played 12 minutes, and that's it. And then they got destroyed for the other 48. Save for Jake Allen. Jake, we got no problems with you. And Kokkonen, you've been great, too, in net. He's really has not been but it hasn't been the goaltending recently. Everyone all season long was goaltending. And we've said it here, too. It's the defense. And now you're seeing Jake Allen stand on his head. You've seen Kokkonen stand on his head, and they're still losing games to teams they should beat. You can't put that on the goaltender. You cannot put this one on Jake Allen tonight.
He was unbelievable tonight. And the fact that he gets a loss after all those saves he made.
Yeah.
But again, it's just they're not playing like a team, Scotty. And when they do, they do very well. But it almost seemed like after they got the 2-0 lead, they just hey, we'll just
they went to sleep. They thought they had it in the bag, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it. And Johnny, thanks. Why did Green call the timeout after the first empty net goal? It's like, dude, it's 30 seconds left. This game is toast. You had your shot. Now you're calling a timeout? You really think they're going to pop 2 in 36 seconds?
That's why he's fired in my book, in my head.
I'm like, what is going on there? Why are they even bothering with a timeout? This game is... let me answer this email instead. That was basically my mindset at that point. Let me finish up some work emails. But you could see this one coming a mile away. You really could. Because by the end of the first period, the Sabres were outplaying the Devils.
Yeah, I don't want them to even make the playoffs at this point if there's a miracle. And I'll tell you the reason why. I don't want to give any more my money. I don't want to be let down. I'm just so emotionally invested in this team that, I just can't take it anymore. I can't take the inconsistencies. And who are you going to hold accountable here? Is it going to be the same old Devils next season? There needs to be an overhaul in the coaching. You know, when you fire Lindy Ruff mid-season, okay, you try to, right now, Travis Green, in my mind, he's a stopgap at this point.
Yeah.
But if they make him coach,
I listen, I like some of the things he's done, but overall the team is still way, way too inconsistent. It's way too inconsistent. And tonight it looked like the team that was playing under Coach Ruff from like a month or so ago when we were all just pulling our hair out. As in, like, what the hell is going on here? That's the way they played tonight. This wasn't pretty.
Johnny Danks and John M., yeah, I agree with you. Along with firing the entire coaching staff, pull the C off of Nico's jersey as well.
Wow.
I'm done with him being captain. Nothing personal. It's just business at this point.
Okay, Michael Corleone. All right.
No. You know what?
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Sammy Pink Slips. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't realize. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there going to be a baptism scene here pretty soon where you're taking them all out? Today, Sammy Pink Slips settles all family business.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Bada Bing and figure this thing out.
Oh, Paul is saying take the A off Jacks too.
Yeah, you might as well.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but they gotta be able to grind these games out against these teams like this. If they want to make the playoffs next season, these are games they have to put in the bag. They can't let teams hang around like this. And I get it. Maybe it happens once or twice over the season, but this is consistent throughout this season that they play down to their opponents. They'll play up to their opponents as well, which is nice. But these games, when you need them, you really, really need them, Devils are going to play down. And that's just, it's just not a playoff team. That's just not a playoff caliber team.
I mean, at this point, I don't know why I'm ragging on Jack Hughes. I mean, he's fragile.
That's all right. We're all upset.
Look, you know what? I wouldn't mind trading him at this point.
Take him out, Fredo. Take him out fishing like Fredo. Oh, my Trudell. Oh.
But this team is too soft. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make. And
I agree.
think there's too much of the Hughes brothers. I wouldn't mind splitting them up. I'd rather keep Luke than Jack long term. That's just my opinion. I think Jack's a great player, but how many times does he get, pushed off the puck, turns the puck over, great offensive talent, but not a complete player.
Peter Seifert. I was the assistant coach, and I want respect. I'm smart. I can handle things. Send McGill off to do this. Send McGill off to do that. Oh, God. Too funny. Where's the beef, JP? That's what we're asking.
Yeah, I mean, even with Palat, what does this guy do? Seriously, I want to know.
He gets paid a lot.
He gets paid a lot. I don't see any results on the score sheet. He's slow as heck. I don't know.
You got paid to be a playoff performer, but you got to make the playoffs before you can get that performance, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That'll be one of those contracts that, we'll end up trade it and we'll be eating so much of the money, just when we're getting rid of like the Covey and the Corey Schneider and all that sort of stuff, that one's going to be on there.
I'm really disappointed in a plot. Not saying that he's not trying, but it just, I don't know. It just seems like, we're his pension plan. He did all dirty. He did his time.
He got paid for what he did in Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And somehow we're paying for it.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. We're paying for everything that he did down in Tampa, which doesn't do us any favors.
Who else has the A?
Jack.
Well, Jack.
Dougie when he's around.
Yeah. Does Palat have the A?
He has. Who else is it? No, did Jesper Bratt get the A? No, I think it's Palat and Jack right now.
Yeah, Dubs is like, yeah. And speaking of coach, they need an authoritative coach that's coming in. I want a coach. I want a coach that kicks garbage cans around. At this point, I know Nick Villano will probably kill me for saying this, but I wouldn't mind Mike Babcock for 2 months.
What about Craig Berube? He seems to be all about it. He did a fantastic job there in St. Louis turning that team around, which was severely underperforming. I know he didn't last forever, but neither did Lindy Ruff here, and neither is Travis Green. And sometimes that's the way of a professional sports league coach. Sometimes their run doesn't last very long. I think the person we need is down in Nashville, obviously. I think Burnett would have been, the guy who we should have, been able to keep. But, how do you let Lindy go after the team has, their most wins ever in the season, the most points ever in the season, and, a just absolute, knockout punch of the Rangers, in the playoffs. I know they got clobbered there by Carolina, but I still feel last year that that Ranger series was like the Stanley Cup for the Devils and for us fans as well.
You need a Berube as a coach because in the Metropolitan Division, you've got Patrick Roy as the Islanders coach, Torts as the Flyers coach, Laviolette as the Rangers coach. This is a tough division. And Rod Brindamore as the Carolina coach. Craig Berube, I just don't think the Devils will hire him. Because
what about Boudreaux?
I don't think they're smart enough to hire either one of them.
He's a tough cookie too.
I would love to see Boudreaux and Stevens behind that bench. Because I don't trust any of these outsiders, coming in. We had to deal with John Hines, then Nasreddine. Although Nasreddine, I don't think got a fair shake. And then, Lindy, he got us to a certain point. But I still question, did Lindy even have full autonomy of the team? I wish I knew. I think the analytics, the analytics staff, fire them all too. The video.
How much of that last year was Burnett too?
Yeah, I mean, who really knows? The players would know. The players would know. But I just think there's just too many distractions. This team, I think that the team itself probably believes their own press release. Believes what people say about them.
Jacob, right? Put Lamoriello behind the bench again.
Hey, but you know what? Travis Green did say something, and I see this word in the chat
immature.
room. Yeah. They're immature.
He's not afraid to call him out. I do like that about him.
Yeah. But what do you do with immature players? You got to trade them. You got to trade some of them to send the message.
They're going to have to – there's going to have to – one of these guys is going to be gone, I think, next year. I don't know who it's going to be, but I agree that there definitely needs to be a message sent. And this team has got to get tougher. They have to get tougher. I like the way Timo is playing now, and hopefully next year he can stay healthy and be this bulldog that he's been, for the last 3-4 weeks. I guess throughout the month of March, basically, he's been on fire. But you can see he's actually finally healthy. We can debate the whole coaching change and everything like that, but I think the biggest factor there is his legs are healthy, and he can skate, and he can go, and he can hit, and he can get into those dirty zones and everything like that.
Yeah.
If you get a actual full season of Timo Meier like this, that's a different story. But you still need someone else too to toughen up this team.
Well, you need a superstar coach in this situation. You really do. Thank you for the super chat, Johnny Danks. Should Nico be the captain of this team next year? I think when Nico was named captain, I think that was more of a decision by the Devils marketing more than anything. Just the way that they announced it, the surprise, like even with Jack Hughes, some of the things that they did with him, like when is he coming back from his injury? And so like they put all this marketing, like stop it already. Because when you overdo it with marketing and you got to, I almost said the S word, but once you have a crappy team like this and you've you're over-marketing a crappy team,
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's all about wins. It's not about analytics. It's not about how many hits the Devils marketing team can get on their website. It's about winning. I pay money, and Devils fans pay money to see the team what? Not Jack Hughes. They want to see the Devils win. We don't pay to see Jack Hughes. No, we pay to see them to win. And I think the entire organization has lost focus of that.
Yeah, agreed.
And Jack Hughes should. You know what? I should be the coach of this team because I'll put Jack Hughes in his place. I don't care who he is.
Wasn't that one of your season ticket holder perks that you suggested to be able to be the head coach for the day? I believe, right? Wasn't that one of yours?
Goodness. You know what? If I was Jack Hughes' coach, he would be a lot tougher player. He'd probably hate me, but he'd be a lot tougher player because there's so much talent with that kid. And notice I said kid because I don't think he's a grown-up right now. I think he tries to be. But he's got to get tougher, And Luke, I love that he's shooting the puck.
Lucas looked a lot better. I will say that. I can see the progression with him and Nemitz throughout the season, where we still got Ball making a bonehead play today on the giveaways. You don't see as many with Nemitz and Luke anymore, and I love that Luke is shooting that puck because he's got a nasty shot.
There's still a lot of work to be done, but you're absolutely right, Scotty. They are improving. They're just not improving fast enough for this season, unfortunately.
Well, they're not improving fast enough in the sense of, let's face it, we've been decimated with injuries. It's no excuse, but Nemitz wasn't even supposed to be in the NHL this year. He should still be developing at the AHL level. What was thrown at him was not fair, and the amount of minutes that he was playing wasn't fair either. But I definitely see the hockey sense in both of them developing, and I think both of them, and it may not be next year all the way, but 2 years from now, those dudes are going to be studs. They are both going to be studs because Nemitz he's not a small kid either, and he's still going to grow. He just turned 20. He's going to bulk up more, and I would love to see Luke put on a little bit more muscle as well. Because right now he's like a lanky kid. But if he can get into the gym and put on 5-10 pounds of muscle with the speed that he's got now, he's still going to be faster than just about everybody on the ice. But it'll toughen him up being able to play against some of these other guys along the boards, not getting pushed off the puck or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens. Yes, and no, Tom Wilson isn't going anywhere. He's going to be taking over the captaincy from Ovi in DC relatively soon. So no Tom Wilson. But that's what they need, someone like that, who's that kind of half and half there, where they can go and they can drop the gloves, but they can put in 20 goals as well. Dare I say, back in the day, one of my favorite players, Randy the Rocket McKay, when he finally started to, move away from just all the fighting, and he started putting pucks in the back of the net. But they need that. They desperately, desperately need it. Curtis Lazar is good, but he doesn't score as much. He's more of a complimentary player. But he's got toughness. He's got grit. He's got grind. I love what Kurt blocks shots like none other. That's good. But just need someone also who can play in, maybe that top 6 or at least top 9, where they can bury the puck a little bit more. We all remember the early years of Clarkey. I know he had his one miracle run there with the 30-goal season. But he was a great example. You get someone who's in the high teens, low 20s, but oh boy, could he drop those gloves and hold his own. Turner Stevenson, I don't know if he really got into the 20s ever, but he was at least in the teens. I don't know if Curtis Lazar is going to get into the teens. But Turner could drop those gloves and go. It makes the team tougher. So they got a lot to work on, and I think Sam Woo hit the nail on the head when you said, Fitzy, I know you've done a lot of good here, but this team kind of flopped this year after a record-setting season last year. You got to make some adjustments. You got to figure this out, because you know what? Now we're looking at you because you're the one that's building the team. And you got a lot of fans. I see it watching TV out here in LA. I see there's still good crowds coming there to the Rock. Don't drive them away. Don't drive another generation to be friggin' Ranger fans or something like that. Figure it out. Get it done. That's all I gotta say. What else is there to say at this point? I don't know what else. Now they need the miracle of beyond all miracles, to.
Well, they need to run the table right now to even have.
Yeah, they got to win. They got to win basically every game.
Yeah.
So
it won't happen.
I don't think so.
It won't happen.
I really don't.
They can't even win more than 2 or 3 in a row.
They haven't won more than 3 in a row all season.
Yeah.
So, unless they prove this entire season that it was wrong, then yeah, okay. But I just don't see it happening.
Let's see here. John Adams said, I'm still not sure if Sam was serious tonight. All right. On a serious note, I said a lot of things that, don't make sense, like trading Jack Hughes, whatever. I'm sick of him, whatever. I think where I'm most frustrated about is this team is so overhyped to the point where how do you hold these players accountable? How do you hold them accountable? You can't sit Jack Hughes, or can you? You can't sit half of these players because who's going to fill that spot? It's just it has to come within, and right now there's no leadership in that locker room that can just right the ship. They don't have that dynamic leader. They put a C on Nico's sweater. I believe that Nico takes it seriously. I believe Nico tries. But sometimes it's more than that. You know what I mean? It's more than that. You know, at this point, I might put the C on Brendan Smith or Holla at this point.
And I think Ted hits it here too. Ever since the Stadium Series game.
Yeah. You know, and how do fans send the message? You know, how do we send the message? I think this is a little too extreme, but and maybe comparing apples and oranges. But did you hear what the Oakland Athletics fans did to protest?
Let's not get to that level yet.
I know, but the problem here, Scotty, is it's not at that level. But the point is, it's as long as we keep paying, Devils management doesn't care.
Well, we'll see, because the crowds will eventually thin out, as we've seen in the past. So they'll care. They'll care. And once Tom Fitzgerald's job starts getting threatened by management, he's really going to care.
You know that they've kept on extending the renewals for season tickets. Oh,
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This team has got to get it together. I mean, you know, obviously they're not mathematically eliminated, but you know, come on. We don't want to beat around the bush here. They need this. Tonight was a must win. I don't know how many times we've said that in the past 3 weeks, and they didn't come through. So it is what it is, and maybe the Devils this year are just one of those spoiler teams. Maybe they're one of those teams where it's like, oh, they can beat the Rangers on the 3rd, and that's their playoff run right there. Oh, yay! Not what we want, but that might be the way that they're going. Because when's their next game? Tuesday against Pittsburgh. They got the back-to-back again, of course. They got Tuesday against Pittsburgh, and then Wednesday against the Rangers, and then, oh, look at that, another back-to-back, Ottawa and Nashville.
They're going to lose.
I will say, the deck has been stacked against them this year with the injuries, the scheduling, and everything like that. But still, you can't blame those things. You got to go out there and play. Was it a hard road? Yes. But it's not an excuse that you can use at this level. You just can't, especially with the superstar power that this team has. They're just not, right now, they're not performing up to the expectation that they set last year. So Fitzy's going to have some work to do in the offseason. Pittsburgh, Rangers, Ottawa, Nashville, Toronto, Philly, the Icelanders. That's what they got left. We shall see how it all goes, Sam Woo. But they got the weekend off here to think about it. They got a couple days off here to think about it. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And it is what it is at this point in the season. That'll be their playoff game, April the 3rd.
Or they get knocked around and don't respond.
They better respond.
That's the thing.
Good Lordy, I hope Curtis McDermott is back in the lineup for them.
What hurts the most about this game, it was the lack of urgency. After that, once they went up 2-0. After 2-0, the lack of urgency. And they paid the price.
They paid the price.
Can they run the table in April?
No. So, let's wrap this bad boy up, Sam Woo. Disappointing night here for the Devils. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, really. It's just been a disappointing season. Jekyll and Hyde all the way through. We still got some more games to go, though. You know, we'll be covering them here throughout the rest of the way. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark, Woo Reports, State of the Fan Address. We got you covered here at the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network.
Oh.
Thank you, everyone, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, everything else. Really appreciate you signing in on this Friday night.
I was debating if I should hit the music or hit taps.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all those tuning in, dropping the podcast at midnight. Keep it here. Try to stay positive. And just maybe we'll get positive results. Till next time, let's go Devils.